Welcome to Pamela's Plant-Based Kitchen. So today I'm making something that's healthy for a breakfast on the go grab or some little energy bites if you have been out walking or exercising and it's not dinner time but you want something healthy to raise your blood sugar in a good way. And it's homemade Aussie Bites. Now these are made with a base of oats. And so I have taken a cup of rolled quick oats and I have taken a cup of oat flour. Now you really don't have to purchase oat flour. I just happen to have some on hand. It's a really good gluten-free flour to have on hand for baking. And if you don't have oat flour on hand, you can just take a cup of your rolled quick oats and you can blend it in your food processor and make it into a flour. So you want one with the texture, 1 cup, and one with the flour that's ground up. This also has quinoa in it. Now, I have a quinoa blend. It's sprouted quinoa, and it has the red, white, and black quinoa mixture. You can use any type of quinoa you want, but you want to cook it yourself. And it calls for a cup of cooked quinoa. So as you can see, I have cooked my quinoa. I haven't used any seasonings in it. I've just cooked it, and we're going to measure out a cup of the quinoa. It's all nice and fluffy and ready to eat. You can see the little sprouting in it. If you look at it carefully, the little curly pieces are the sprouts on it. That means it's a living food. It's very healthy. We're going to put this in our food processor. So in the food processor, we have the 2 cups of oats, 1 ground, 1 natural, 1 cup of the cooked quinoa. It calls for a 1/4 cup of dried apricots. Dried apricots are really good for you. They have a lot of iron in them and they have potassium as well. It calls for a 1/4 cup of dried cherries. Dried cherries are very good. They're nutritious. They're anti-inflammatory. It calls for a 1/2 cup of pitted dates. And I counted the seeds on it and it came to 6 big giant dates. So it depends on the size of your dates what will make up a 1/2 cup. So we're putting that in here as well. We're going to go ahead and pour in the flour of the oats and the regular oats that we have. It calls for, this is the sour cherries I'm putting in right now. It calls for a teaspoon of baking soda, and then it also wants a 1/2 cup of unsweetened coconut, and as you can see it says unsweetened. You don't have to buy the most expensive brand. You can find sweetened or unsweetened at the store, and these are unsweetened. And then it takes also a 1/4 cup of raisins. And so we're going to take this and we're going to bring this together, and it also has 3 tablespoons of earth butter, which is a plant-based butter, and you can buy this at the store, and it's made from natural plant-based products. And we're going to go ahead and get our spatula and scrape out the rest of it so it's all in here. And now we're going to process that right here in the food processor. Now it also needs to have a 1/4 cup of honey. And we have a little local source of honey that we have. I'm going to ask David to please open this for me while I show you. The mixture is a little bit dry right now because we're waiting on the honey to put in it, and we're going to put a 1/4 cup of honey into the mixture. So the honey is natural and local honey, which makes a wonderful change. We've decided to go, this is the same honey, we just have it in a little squeeze bottle. I'm going to take and spray the inside of the 1/4 cup with a little bit of coconut spray just to make it easier to get the honey to come out into the pan so we don't lose a lot of it into the measuring cup as it comes out. Local honey is a really good product for allergies. If you get the local honey from the area, it helps to protect you from a lot of the blooming things that cause a lot of allergies for people. So we're getting our rich, thick honey straight from the hive, from the local honey farmer, and we're going to put that in here. Now, if you are vegan and you don't use honey, you could use maple syrup in place of the honey, but the nutritious value of the honey is such a valuable thing to add to our cooking and our baking. And some people take a teaspoon of local honey every day just to help protect themselves for it. The beautiful Aussie Bites are going to be baked, and I have a mini muffin tin over here on the side that I have already sprayed with the coconut spray. That's going to keep it from sticking on the sides when we bake it in the oven. So we've preheated an oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to finish letting this come together. Isn't that a pretty color on that honey? It's so rich and amber color, nice and thick. Thank you, bees, for making something delicious that God created you to make. And it needs just a dash more. It was getting hard to squeeze out as we're near the end in this container. So we're getting, just a little more of a squeeze here because it wasn't quite full on the 1/4 of a cup here. So that should be pretty good right there. All right, let's see if this comes together now. That looks pretty mixed up to me. Let's look at that. And we're going to take this off of the stand here and scrape it down. You can always put it back and mix it again if you need to, but I don't think we need to. Now, as I have already washed my hands, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get a little scoop that I have, and we're going to go ahead and get this into the pan. I think this will take at least 2 scoops into each pan. I want to pack it down nice and tight. And then once this is full, we're going to bake it up, and we're going to have some crunchy and delicious, moist Aussie Bites full of protein from the quinoa. I forgot to mention as well that there's a 1/4 cup of pistachios in here, so that's some additional protein, and all of the dried fruit that's rich, the honey, the oats that give it the nice binding capability, a lot of texture and fiber that's so good for us. Oats are also something that you want to eat if you have high cholesterol. It helps to bring your cholesterol down. So there's nothing in here that's bad for you as far as being refined and causing issues for you. So this is what it should look like in the pan, and I'm going to bake those up, and we're going to have some delicious Aussie Bites to use for breakfast or snacks on the go.